Okay, and welcome everyone. This is Joy Taylor, the director of the Women's Business Center at JEDI. Hey, we have back by popular demand, Angela Cordell. Hi, Angela.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, I'm here to learn. And I hope everyone's got the learner mindset going because, that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We learn by doing, we make it up as we go along. And the more educated we are, the more empowered we are. We make better choices. And today we're going to get not only empowered and educated, but personally, I think we're going to get a little inspired about utilizing this social network called LinkedIn to create a profile for our business and also to connect and create relationships with people internationally. So it's going to be a great webinar. The webinar is brought to you by the Women's Business Center at JEDI. And we're an organization that's really here to help people start and grow businesses. We like to say we're where potential becomes prosperity. And how do we do that? Well, we have a lot of services. We're very grateful for our funders, including the Small Business Administration and other organizations that believe that really economy at a local level changes lives. And we know that to be true. So as each of you create businesses and offer solutions, you're doing great things for not just your clients, but your region. We help you with our training classes and workshops. We do free private business consulting. And I'm happy to say we now have 7 people on our consulting team with varying expertise. If you haven't come for a discovery session to work with us, I highly recommend it, and we'll make sure we match you up with someone who can help you wherever you are. If that's help with finances, business planning, getting a loan, marketing, or even your entrepreneurial mindset, goal setting and achieving, would love to assist you. And we do offer advanced business development as well. If you're ready to scale and grow your business, reach out and we can assist you in taking a look at how you best can do that. So to get the most out of the webinar today, I brought a little pad of paper. I'm ready to take some notes. I'm ready to be active, and I hope you are too. We don't have the ability to speak with you, but we do have the ability to chat with you. So if you look down below, you'll see you have a chat button. You also have a Q&A button. You can click on either one of those. I'll be managing that, make sure that we have time to ask Angela questions. And we're going to do a little polling as well. So just be ready and poised to be interactive with us, which will help Angela create the best webinar and training possible. So who is Angela? For those of you who don't know, she's smiling. Angela's a pretty incredible person. I'll tell you a little bit about her credentials, but then I'm going to tell you a little bit about her spirit because that's what really drew me to her. But she is the Deputy Sector Navigator of Business and Entrepreneurship for the Far North region. So she works with the same counties we do, plus more, Siskiyou, Trinity, Shasta, Humboldt counties, and this whole northern region, helping the community identify gaps and therefore create solutions and skill building opportunities. It's hosted through Shasta College, through Doing What Matters. And it's a wonderful organization, and we see these trainings and professional development opportunities popping up. We see these logos showing up as sponsors for events like things we do at the Women's Business Center, and that's because of Angela and her role. And she does have the intellect to do the research to figure out how she can support our community. So we're blessed to have these kinds of resources supporting entrepreneurs in really growing. And Angela, I know you got your BA in public relations with a minor in women's studies, and you're currently on your way to an MBA.
I am, yes. That is one of the journeys I am on right now. So.
Yeah, you're working and going to school and just always improving your skills and your knowledge, which is pretty fabulous. But more importantly, I feel like you have such a heart of service. And every time I've had the pleasure of enjoying a meal or a tea with you or attending an event or learning from you, I feel underneath all the skills and the knowledge, you really truly transmit service. And we're glad that you're here again. And
you.
I'm excited about this topic on LinkedIn. So
All
take it
right.
away.
Well, thank you so much. You made me blush. I appreciate it very much. Yes, I believe in serving the community where you reside. So doing the best we can with the people and the resources that we have around us. So I'm very excited to be here. I believe that social media is one of the most powerful tools that we have access to in rural communities to connect us to the outside world. Sometimes we can feel a little bit isolated, especially professionally, but utilizing these online platforms, most of them which are free of cost or very low cost, can dramatically change and impact our reach and our scope as professionals. So if it's all right with all of you, I am going to go ahead and minimize this video window so that we can focus on the presentation. We're actually going to spend a lot of time. Let's just hang out on the website. And I'm excited about this webinar because most of my webinars are a little bit not intense, but we're talking about really dramatic things like international business and some really deep business topics. And we will talk a little bit about that today, but this one is actually going to be more fun. I like to think of LinkedIn as the guilt-free social media platform. It is beneficial to you as a professional to hang out on it and be active on it. So download the app onto your phone so that you can browse it when you are waiting for your lunch meeting to arrive or you're waiting to pick up your kids from school. Yeah, let's get on it. Let's get comfortable with kind of playing and exploring. So I'm going to minimize this window. And we're going to get started. So today, yes, we're going to be demystifying LinkedIn. Now, some of you, I'm kind of making the assumption that most of you here today already have a LinkedIn profile. If you don't, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just take notes. This webinar is being recorded so you can refer back to it. If you need help actually creating a profile or creating an account, shoot me an email after the webinar and we can work on that together. So today we're going to be talking about really what LinkedIn is most useful for, especially to entrepreneurs or small business owners in our community. Number one is building your professional brand. LinkedIn is about you. It's all about you. And it's about how you represent your business. Number two, it's about building an online portfolio. Three, it's about networking, and it's about networking globally. So LinkedIn is the perfect platform to start connecting with people outside of the area. You can use it to connect with people locally, but it's really for those global connections. And fourth, and this is kind of one of the newest layers of LinkedIn, is upskilling, training, and professional certificates. So we're going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn Learning and the power of LinkedIn Learning. And Joy, did you have something that I thought maybe that I heard you for a second? No?
No, but I'm ready for all of it. Let's
go. Great.
Take us there.
All right. So we are actually going to do our first poll question. So I kind of want to get an idea of why you logged on to this webinar today. And I'll keep this in mind as we're talking about different things and kind of exploring the website. So if you could take a moment and answer the following question. I joined today's webinar because I am either looking for a job, looking for clients, looking to build my professional network, looking to be recognized as an industry expert, looking to edit and revamp my LinkedIn profile, or maybe there's another reason.
Looks like we have over half have voted. So those of you who haven't, this is your opportunity. Okay, going once, going twice. Let's take a look. Okay, we have most people have taken a moment to offer their reasons for being here today.
Cool.
All right, so let's share the results.
Excellent. Okay. No one here is job hunting. That's
that's probably because we work with entrepreneurs.
exactly. Well, you never know. I encourage students to hop onto these webinars as well. So looking for clients. Okay, great. Looking to build your professional network, revamping other. Okay, excellent. When we do the Q&A at the end of this webinar, feel free to jump in and let me know what the other category is. I'm interested to find that out. All right, so with that, we're actually going to head over to LinkedIn. Let's transition over here. All right, and welcome to my LinkedIn profile. We are going to use my LinkedIn profile today as sort of a template, not because I want to brag about it, only because I want to give you an example of some of the resources and tools I've used that have worked well over the years. So this is where we're going to start, and we're actually going to hang out right on this page for a little while, because something that marketers have learned over the last few years, especially as the web has become so powerful and we all use it all day, every day, is that unless you capture someone within 3 seconds, they're not going to scroll down your page. You have 3 seconds to capture someone. So really, the most important part of your LinkedIn profile is all this right here. So even if you're not worrying about anything else, this is the part that you want to pay attention to. This is what is most important. So we're going to talk real quick about some really basic profile do's. So some really basic things that you want to keep in mind and that you want to check off your profile list. Some of you may already have a really robust profile, and that's fine. Don't worry about it. This is for people who are still struggling or maybe feeling uncertain about what information they need to have up on their profile page. So the very first thing that you need, and I cannot stress this enough, is a professional profile picture. That doesn't mean that you can't have a friend snap a photo with your iPhone or with a smartphone. You can. You could probably even use a selfie, but it really needs to be good quality. There's a lot of folks who have profile pictures on LinkedIn that are blurry, low resolution, and they just don't quite capture potential collaborators and potential clients the same way. So I can't stress that enough. Invest in yourself. Get a nice profile picture taken. We also now have these banner photos that I think are really fantastic. They add a nice extra layer to the visual components of your profile, and they let you highlight your work a little bit, which I think is really fun. My profile picture, I utilized Pacific Sky to do a video for me of some work that I've been doing with Shasta College. And there were a number of us that were interviewed, but one of the producers of the video took this really nice photo on his iPhone. And I thought, I'm really proud of this. I want to use this as my background picture. So that's what we start with, the professional profile picture. The next is education. As it turns out, folks who add education to their profile. So for example, I am studying at North Central University to get my MBA. So that's one of the things that pops up right here at the top. If you fill in that education portion of the profile, you are 17 times more likely to be found in searches. So almost similar to search engine optimization, the more information you have in your profile, the more likely you are to be found, because you kind of fall into those niche categories that people are looking for. So education is really important. I am 100% certain that a couple of you are thinking, oh no, I don't have a bachelor's degree, or I don't have that's okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to talk a little bit later about some other pieces of your LinkedIn profile where you can list certifications. Some of them may even be online certifications, licenses, and other education certificates that you may have accumulated throughout your profession. So don't worry, This is not just a place for a traditional degree. Don't panic about that. The next is location. So I live in Redding, California. And so I'm going to appear in Northern California or Redding, California searches. That's where people are going to find me. Now, let's say I was an entrepreneur and I was interested in expanding my reach to the Sacramento area. It's not far, but that's where I want to start meeting people, and that's where I want to start connecting. That's where I want to find some clients. I might change this location to Sacramento, California, because that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be spending my time. You show up in searches at your location. So someone from Sacramento, if they were looking for someone in your industry, you would pop up in their search feed potentially if you had Sacramento listed. I hope that makes sense. If anyone has any questions about that later, let me know. Last but not least, on this top page here is your summary statement. This one can be a little bit challenging because it allows for some creativity. It allows you to really explain to the viewer why you have a LinkedIn profile to begin with and where you're at in your professional career. So for me, I am very comfortable in my job right now. I love what I'm doing. I'm on LinkedIn because I want to network with other professionals. I want to build my industry expertise portfolio. And I want to highlight my current profession. So I've taken a really formal approach to this section. I speak of myself in the third person. I'm Ms. Cordell, and so on and so forth. That's not necessarily how you have to build your summary statement. You could be a little bit more informal. You could speak of yourself in first person and so on and so forth. And I've also noticed that for folks who are looking to gain either clients or collaborators, or for those who are job hunting, they actually choose to list some of their skill sets in bullet point here in their summary statement. They may also link to an online PDF version of their paper resume or something like that. All of that is completely appropriate. It's completely fine. What you want to remember again is that this is a person's first impression of you. This is what is going to determine whether they keep scrolling and ultimately whether they reach out to you and they connect with you. A couple things that I want to mention in the don'ts category, and we're going to take a look at a couple different profiles here shortly, but I just want to mention a few things. And some of these are my personal opinion, so someone may disagree with me. That's okay, but this is my list of don'ts. Don't include personal pictures and information that have nothing to do with your professional brand. While LinkedIn is a social networking site, it is a professional social networking site. You probably want to save pictures of your weekend getaway for your more personal Instagram profile, your Facebook page, and so on and so forth, unless you are traveling for work or unless you can relate it back to your business pretty specifically. You want to be careful about putting too much personal information up on LinkedIn. That's not really what it's for. It's for professional networking. Don't forget to update your information often. This is really a live, it's a living profile. So when something changes, when something good happens, when your path deviates, you want to kind of document that here. So you don't want to forget to get on here regularly. You don't want to leave sections blank if you can avoid it. Now, when I first started using LinkedIn, it was actually, let me start counting. It was about 11 years ago, and LinkedIn was pretty new, and I was very young, and I didn't really have much to put on my profile. That's okay. It's given me something to reach towards, and it showed me actually where some of the gaps were in my professional resume and in my professional experience. So don't get down on yourself if there's some sections that are left blank. Just perhaps use that as an encouragement to fill those professional gaps. And if you need help with that, you can always reach out to me. Last but not least, don't create a profile just to spy on other people. It's not a good idea. You don't want to do that. First of all, because now people can see when you're spying on them. If you have a Prime account, then LinkedIn sends you a list of everyone who views your profile, which is great. It's kind of fun to see who's looking. It lets you know if some of your activities on LinkedIn are being noticed or not, if you want to bump up your activity or not. But if you're just creating a profile because you want to spy on other people, it's not a great use of your time. Create a profile because you want to build a space for yourself in this network and you want to be highlighted on this network. So let's take a minute and let's look at a couple of profiles that I think are fantastic. And like I said, all of these profiles are going to have different strengths and maybe some areas that they're looking to grow. But here's a couple from some local gals that I think are fantastic. First is our lovely host, Joy. I love Joy's profile. I love her picture. I love the banner photo up above. I can see very quickly what she does. She has very creatively highlighted her 2 areas of passion and her 2 areas of business. She's the co-founder of Wealth of Life, Inc., and she is the director of the Women's Business Center at JEDI. That's great. You can list more than one professional position or more than one project. That's not a problem.
Hey, Angela, as a director helping entrepreneurs be entrepreneurs, it's good that I have a side business.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it is. All right. Here's something I really like about Joy's profile is that she has a link right here in her summary. And as I mentioned before, see how she used bullet points to highlight some of her specializations? Fantastic. Thank you, Joy. The next is my friend Nina. Nina and I have worked together on a number of projects. She is one of my international business gurus, and we are lucky to have her here in Reading. I think she's done a couple of webinars for JEDI as well. So definitely hop onto their YouTube channel and go look for those. Again, I can see immediately what Nina does and what her business is about, helping business owners start and grow internationally. I see that she went to graduate school. That's fantastic. Her business is Savvy Global. Again, she has a great summary right here. She utilized the bullet points. She has a link, so on and so forth. So there's some awesome sites. Now, I want to take you through a search real quick to show you, because some of you may think I'm being petty about some small aesthetic things, but I want to show you why this is really important. So in my current role, I work with consultants. From time to time, I will hop on LinkedIn and I will look to see if there are any professional consultants in my region that I am not connected with yet, if I have different projects that pop up. So I'm going to go to the search box up in the left-hand corner here, and I'm going to type in professional consultant. Professional consulting. Let's do that. Okay. And I'm also going to click on people. I'm not looking for a job. I'm going to narrow it down. Let's get some people in here. Okay, so I have a list that just popped up. The first one is in Los Angeles. That's interesting. We have 5 shared connections. That's probably why this person popped up. So I have 5 people I'm connected with on LinkedIn that are also connected with Russell. We have John that popped up, Matt, Dr. Rich. We have Carol down here. Okay, this is fantastic. So when I look at we're going to pick on John for just a second. I don't think it's going to be picking on him because I think he probably has a nice site. He does. All right. This is fantastic. He's in the Arcata area, consultant, professional consulting services. I get a little bit of information on him. Already I'm thinking, yep, this is a professional. He has an interesting summary here. I'm going to scroll down immediately to his specialties: strategic research and development, corporate offering. Nice, interesting. I might reach out to John. Now, I want to take a look for just a moment at this profile right here. So Gilda in the Los Angeles area. Sure, Gilda is a very nice person, but I click on Gilda's profile and I don't see a picture and I don't see a banner photo, so I'm a little bit nervous. Strategic isn't spelled correctly if I'm looking at that the right way. She's a consultant, or this person is a consultant. GM for, okay, all right. 26 years of experience. All right. Yeah. Maybe if Gilda had a profile picture and some additional information in the summary, I perhaps might be interested in reaching out to that person. So again, I'm just doing this to highlight how quickly we can make judgments about people's professional abilities based on their LinkedIn profiles. That's why this is important. And that's why you want to put your best foot forward in that very first screen when people click on it. I'm going to do professional consultant here for a second and just see how quickly that changes just from, instead of saying consulting, going to consultant. We have some local folks. This is great. Oh, this is one down here. This is another one. This is a consultant in the San Francisco Bay Area. Great. Hello, Spencer C. This doesn't give me any information about what kind of an independent contractor or professional services consultant Spencer is. So I'm probably not going to reach out to Spencer. And that's okay. He might have plenty of clients. So let's flip that. If you are an independent contractor, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone who is looking to be hired and to grow your business, you want to put your best foot forward in your LinkedIn profile. So we're going to actually scroll down now. So let's say someone came to your profile page, they like what they see, so they're going to start scrolling. And they're going to find out a little bit more about you. Now, what I'm showing you right here is going to look a little bit different because I'm on the back end of my profile. So you're going to see some different things, but the categories are all going to be the same. We're going to walk through them real quickly because there's a couple key things that I think are really important. This is somewhat new to LinkedIn. I mean, it's been there for a little while, but not for too long. Your articles and activity. So if you're looking to establish yourself as an industry expert, which I noticed many of you are, blogging or posting a blog on LinkedIn can be very powerful. You can choose an industry specific topic. Maybe it's something that's very timely, something that's happening right now. Maybe it's specific to some work that you're doing or an experience that you've had recently, and you can blog about it here and it actually shows up right there at the top of your profile in your articles and activities. So if people scroll down, they can click on it. It also shows different articles that you post and so on and so forth. We're going to talk later about digital badges and online certificates. This is also where those would show up. So this is actually a really cool and can be a very powerful section for your online portfolio. And I want to pause right there and clarify what I mean by that. I think most of you probably remember the days where we used to walk into a job interview and we had a packet with us and it was our portfolio and we had printed out and beautifully laid out clippings from different projects that we had done, especially if we did something with graphics or visual design. I know for me in public relations, it was clippings of newspaper articles and other work that I had done. LinkedIn now gives us the opportunity to host all of that on this website. Think of this as your online portfolio piece. So this can actually become a holding space for you of all the work that you're really proud of. So that's what I mean by online portfolio. So then we scroll down and we hit what is the digital version of our resume. So right here, I'm currently the Deputy Sector Navigator of Business and Entrepreneurship at Shasta College. I've not been in that position very long, for 4 months. This description is actually something that I pulled from the Doing What Matters website, which is the grant that pays for my position up here in the far north. So I utilized that. And just a few weeks ago, I was lucky enough to host the Youth Entrepreneurship Program competition that Shasta College does every year. And we had a great article in the Record Searchlight, and I was able to get a few quotes into that story. So I linked that right here. It's kind of my first media piece for this new position that I have. We scroll down. I am still an associate faculty member at Feather River College, which is my previous host college. I linked actually to the curriculum for the class that I taught. I taught the New World of Work curriculum in their worksite learning class, and that's actually an open source curriculum. They have a great website, so I decided to link to it so people could see what I was doing. Previously, I was the DSN of Global Trade and Logistics. I actually linked to the last webinar that I did for JEDI, how to grow your business outside of the region. Here's a link again to Doing What Matters, which is kind of the home site for the grant that I operate under, and so on and so on and so on. So I would encourage all of you to find things to link to this portion to the experience portion of your LinkedIn page. If you don't have anything currently, you can upload photos. I know that there is a lovely business owner who has attended a number of the workshops that I've done that is a professional landscaper. You can absolutely upload photos of the landscaping projects that you've done, maybe before and afters, with a little explanation or something like that. Oh, yes.
A couple questions are coming in before we jump ahead.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, one of them is, will LinkedIn allow us to place a link to our website in this section?
Yes, it will. Let's go back to Joy's real quick, because I liked that this website was linked in her summary. I hope this is okay, Joy. Putting you on the spot.
Hey, I'm online, so it must be okay.
All right, so I clicked on that link and this little explanation popped up, which is great. And then if I go to view source, it's gonna think about it. It's gonna think about it. I'm on Joy Taylor's website. So yes, to answer your question, you absolutely may do that.
Next question, is there a way to highlight clients we've helped?
Yes, so let's skip ahead real quick to that section. So when we scroll down, now in this experience section, for example, before I became a DSN, I ran my own boutique communications agency called Gnosis Communications, and I put in a section, clients include, and I listed my clients right here. And I linked to some work that I did for them. So yes, you may. The other area where it's great to get clients feedback is first in skills and endorsement. Second is in recommendations, right? So if you've worked with a happy client and they are on LinkedIn, ask them for a recommendation on your LinkedIn profile.
How do you recommend people ask for those recommendations?
So I've had people reach out to me directly and say, hey, would you mind giving me a recommendation? And depending on who the person is, I'm absolutely willing to do that. I like for it to be a person that I've worked with pretty closely, who I trust. But But yeah, generally speaking, if it's someone that I have a really good working relationship with, I don't mind if they reach out to me and say, hey, do you mind? And a couple of them who have reached out, I've said, sure, do you mind doing the same?
Perfect. Another question. I use my Twitter account to share articles and videos that I found interesting to share. Are you
Mm-hmm.
suggesting that I double up this effort, or shall I direct this activity to just Twitter?
It depends on where your audience lives. That's the only accurate answer that I can give you at the moment. It depends on where your audience lives. So if you are finding that you are engaging with people, and I mean people that will make you money, if you're engaging with those people on Twitter, keep it up. That's not a problem. If you are finding that Twitter is an easy place for you to share articles that are interesting to you, but they're not necessarily generating feedback, you're not getting a lot of engagement on that platform, it's not necessarily building strong connections with a good ROI, then yeah, you might consider doubling up. In full disclosure, I believe there are some programs that you can buy into that might allow you to double up on sharing with one click. I am not very active on Twitter, so I don't know if Twitter speaks to LinkedIn in that way. I'm not sure. If someone does know the answer to that, I'm happy for you to share that with us. That's
Well,
something.
Buffer is one way
Right.
to manage all social media at once.
Right.
That's I would start there, and then
Yes.
also Google Buffer's competitors to see who else is out there.
Absolutely. I'll just throw this out there. If you ever have questions about streamlining some of your social media practices, or if you have questions about what a social media platform does, hop onto YouTube and just type in your questions to YouTube. An immense amount of videos will pop up that explain things pretty quickly. That's where I get a lot of my information.
I'll just add, we had a webinar about 9 months ago with Robin Fader, and it was on social media options, and she went through who's hanging out, the demographics and the psychographics of each social media platform. Because you make a valid point, Angela. We're so busy as business owners, and where do we want to spend our time?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I fully expect that there are a couple of you on this webinar. I could be wrong, but there may be a couple of you on this webinar that get to the end and think, nope, LinkedIn's not really what I'm looking for right now. And that's fine. We can't spend all day, every day on social media. That's just not going to be profitable for our businesses, especially if we are working independently. So my goal today is to make sure that if you choose to use LinkedIn, that you're using it to its fullest capability.
Well, I'm so far getting some gems like LinkedIn is your online portfolio. Put up there what you're proud of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, for people doing B2B, business to business, it definitely is a network. You had, when we went through this run through, Angela, you had some surprising searches around hairstylists. So do we get to go there? Because
I did.
When you were talking about get a professional headshot, and I thought, wow, we could find out who does photography on LinkedIn in our area, probably.
Yes, yes. So that's a good point. So yes, so that takes us over to networking. And before we jump to networking, I'm going to spend 60 seconds showing you real quick some of these other sections. If you scroll down here, we have our education section. So you're going to want to fill that out. Again, if you are worried about what to put in that section, shoot me an email. I can get pretty creative with that. We'll find something. Feel free to put your volunteer experience, depending on what sector, what industry you work in. That can be really helpful. Skills and endorsements and recommendations, and then accomplishments as well. So there's lots that you can do on your profile. But yes, let's jump over to networking. So one of the reasons I brought up hairstylists is because I have a good friend who I think is joining us on this webinar today, who is a incredibly talented hair and makeup artist. She owns her own salon in Sacramento. And when she saw me advertising this webinar, she said, does this work for hairstylists? Because I've never heard of LinkedIn being a platform for hairstylists and folks in my industry to network. So I'm here to prove very quickly that yes, in fact, it
Okay,
does.
and Danielle Parker said, yes, I'm here.
Fantastic. I love you, friend. Okay, so first I want to introduce you real quickly. I'm going to jump back to our PowerPoint real quick. I want to introduce you to Brittany. For those of you who don't know Brittany, now just about anyone who lives here in Redding has met Brittany. She is the co-founder of Guild Beauty Bar Redding. And I remember before she had even opened Guild, I had heard about her from a friend. I was having the makeup done for the photo that is currently on my LinkedIn profile. And I was asking her about how she got her business started. And she was telling me about how she had created a LinkedIn profile and was connected with a gal overseas who introduced her to a key artist and landed her a job at London Fashion Week. And she said, I didn't have a ton of experience. But I had this opportunity to go to London Fashion Week. So I just went. I just took the opportunity. I flew over there, and some of her work ended up getting featured on the Vogue website. I reached back out to her just last week and said, hey, can I share this story? And she said, absolutely. That's one of my favorite stories. So let me show you how Brittany may have made those connections. So we're going to go back up to this search bar up here, right? So let's say that you're my friend Danielle and you are looking to expand out of the Sacramento area. Maybe you are looking for some potential gigs in San Francisco. Let's say you're looking at the Bay Area. There's a good market there, not tapped. So we're going to go. First, maybe you want to connect with other salon owners. So let's do salon and people. Or here we go, salon owner and people. Cool, we have some salon owners here in Redding. I love, oh, there's my dear friend. She's right there. Beautiful profile picture. Look, she can filter her search to location. So let's do San Francisco, Bay Area. Boom, apply. Here we go. We've got some salon owners that popped up. So let's say perhaps she wants to connect with them. She's heading to San Francisco for the weekend. She wants to stop by their salon, say hello, maybe ask if there are any projects that they can collaborate on in the future. And so she's gonna click connect. And she might choose to add a note and tell them why she's coming, or maybe she's just gonna send now. If I were her, I would add a little note that says, hey, I'm a fellow salon owner. I'm interested in finding out more about your market there in the Bay. I'm gonna be there this weekend. Can I stop by your salon? Now, let's say she's looking for some additional publicity and she's looking to kind of grow. Again, she's looking for things to add to that online portfolio. So she's going to perhaps type in beauty blogger. Let's see what we have that pops up. So we have a fashion and beauty blogger. That's in the greater Philly area. That's in New York. Let's see if we do lifestyle blogger, if that gives us any more. It does. It gives us some other folks. And maybe we can narrow it down by location again. So maybe I would choose a couple of these people to connect to. And then I would say, hey, if you're ever looking for something to write about, or if you're ever looking for a feature for your blog, I would love to show you my portfolio and talk to you about some of the work that I'm doing. These are all examples of different ways that you can utilize this amazing tool to network and grow your reach professionally. Danielle, did you have any other questions since I put you on the spot before we move on?
I don't see
Okay.
nothing yet, she says.
Okay, nothing yet. Okay, cool. So while we're here on this locations, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about global networking. So in my previous position, I was the Deputy Sector Navigator of Global Trade and Logistics. We talked a lot about global connections, and I really pushed the importance of global education in today's economy because we have such easy access to global markets, and this is a perfect example. So if I am a salon owner or a hairdresser and I'm interested in expanding my international reach, all I have to do is click right here on locations. Let's say, you know, I don't know a foreign language right now, so I'm interested in going over to the UK. I'm going to apply this. Look at this list of lifestyle bloggers that I just found over in the United Kingdom. It was that easy. It was that easy to find 755 results for lifestyle bloggers in the UK. And all I have to do is start connecting with them, to start writing them, seeing if anything comes with it. You have to connect with 50 people before anything happens. You want to be careful about how you approach them. You don't want to be too salesy right up front, but you can absolutely start building your international network with just the 2 clicks of a button. That's how simple it is to tap into the global economy via LinkedIn. And we could have a whole webinar on that alone. I don't want to do that today. I just want to point out how powerful of a tool this can be. I did look up the most connected countries that LinkedIn is in, and the United Arab Emirates is the #1 most connected country. Then we have the Netherlands, Singapore, United Kingdom, and Denmark. So if you're interested in any of those 5 countries, hop on right now. Start networking.
You know, I was thinking of your friend Danielle, and it's coming up about this idea of getting professional headshots. So I wonder if Danielle would reach out to photographers in Sacramento who might want stylists to work with their clients before their photo op.
Absolutely. She already does that, actually. Yes, she has a very extensive portfolio, and she has done that very well, connecting with different photographers and participating in group sort of opportunities. So photo shoots, weddings, and other things. But yes, it's any of that. Really, we could spend hours on this. We could go down so many rabbit trails of opportunity for networking. And like I said, the reason I focused on my dear friend Danielle is because she let me, and because I think it's a great example of when you are a small business owner, how you can utilize this platform. But the principles apply to those of you that are in a bunch of other industries as well. I want to take just a moment before we're done, and I can't believe how fast time has flown by. So, and I do want to leave a little bit of time for questions. I want to talk about LinkedIn Learning real quick because it's really powerful and it's new. So back in April of 2015, LinkedIn acquired a platform called lynda.com. And we've all been inundated with online learning platforms, but lynda.com is a little bit different. Lynda.com actually utilizes international experts for its online trainings and courses. And they solicit applications and resumes from trainers before they start filming. So, so lynda.com became a very, very powerful and a great resource for learning, for independent learning, independent online learning. So LinkedIn acquired it, and it has now been, lynda.com is still in existence, but all of that information has also been moved over to LinkedIn Learning. And what this means is that if you are a premier member of LinkedIn, you have access to thousands upon thousands of high quality professional trainings. So if you are looking to upskill, this is an excellent opportunity for you. For example, right here, there's a course on online marketing foundations. I'm sure that most of you that are logged in today are interested in that. We have, and this is without me doing any searches, this is just things that were curated for me based on my profile. Business and software tools, career development, customer service, so on and so forth. I'm really interested in learning more about coding. That's a skill that I would like to build into my resume. Right here, all I have to do is type in coding, 3,700 results popped up. It's everything from a 5-hour course to an hour long. So much opportunity here. So I didn't want to leave this webinar today without letting you all know that this is available to you. And the price for this, the price to be a premier, have a premier profile on LinkedIn, I think is $30 a month. And if you are utilizing LinkedIn Learning, that really pays for itself as well. So I want to leave time for questions, and I do have 2 more poll questions. We actually didn't get through all of the material that I had today, so I'm sorry that the end was a little bit rushed. That's okay. I get really excited when I'm talking about this stuff, but I do want to leave you with a couple of, oh, you know what, before we do the poll questions, Joy, here, I'm going to minimize this for just a second. I just want to leave you with these.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. We'll launch the poll in a minute.
Okay, perfect. I just want to leave you with these key points to remember. Make LinkedIn work for you. So know why you're using it, know why you're building a profile. Update it often and stay active on it if you want it to work for you. Make sure it's professional, keep it simple. You don't need to list everything you've ever done on there. List the things that you're proud of. Utilize it to showcase the things that you're proud of. Don't be afraid to play on it. It's fine. It's fine if you search people's profiles and they see it. That's not a problem. And don't be afraid to network. That's what it's there for. Don't be afraid to reach out and network with people. So with that, we're going to go to this poll question. Before I lose those of you who just had an hour with us today, I thank you so much for those of you who have stuck around for 50 minutes. We have this next poll question. I just want to get, oh, go ahead.
Well, what we're doing right now is we're doing the poll on, from what I've learned today, I rate my LinkedIn profile. So we're getting a few people, over half have made a comment on that. Then I'll go to the next poll.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and end this poll because we have pretty close to everyone, a lot of people.
Perfect.
End the poll and share results.
Okay. A couple of you want to create an account. I love it. A couple of 2s went, wow, really evenly dispersed. Really evenly dispersed. Okay, I like it. This is good. Well, I hope this information has been helpful for you. And in 2 more slides, I'll share my contact information so you can reach out to me if you want more help.
Okay, we're launching the next poll.
Perfect.
And that's, what information provided in this training will you apply? I don't know if you see the results as they go. I don't think you do.
I don't see it. It gets to be a fun surprise at the end.
Okay, well, I have the benefit of noticing a lot of people are going to use all of it.
That's good.
All right. So, and by the way, people are hanging out. I had one person just say she had to leave, but attendees are with us. So,
okay, good.
We're appreciating that. While people are voting, you know, when people have technical questions about LinkedIn,
yes,
like passwords or resizing images, is there a help center in LinkedIn, or do you just recommend they Google or YouTube their questions?
You're going to want to Google or YouTube your questions. I am certain that there is a call number that you could eventually get to. But one of the things that I've found is if I type a question about LinkedIn into Google, excuse me, it almost always pops up. The first page that pops up in Google is usually one of LinkedIn's blogs where they have some Q&A or some commonly asked questions. So
Okay.
So you're
I'm
going to want
gonna
to
I'm gonna launch share results of what information will we apply.
all of it. Great. Oh, that makes me happy, you guys. Okay, portfolio building. I like it. Client attraction. Very good. Very, very good. Thank you all. Okay. Let me share my contact information with all of you real quick. If you're interested in reaching out to me, that is my work email and my work phone number, my direct line at my office. But if we still have a little bit of time, Joy, I'm open for some questions. I really appreciated the questions that came through earlier. So if anyone has any specific questions, please let me know.
Okay, I'm gonna start with comments.
Comment.
Pamela has used the Linda Learning and
Yeah,
the LinkedIn Learning, and she said, I've used it, it's excellent.
good.
Danielle said, thanks, Angela, learned a lot. Sherry says, so glad I attended this webinar. Thank you, Angela. And then here's a question. Oh, and then Pamela put up here, LinkedIn-support at cs.linkedin.com.
Great.
A link to get some email help.
Great.
Here's a question from Linda Fitzgerald. How
Yes.
do you choose who to connect to? There are some requests to connect that I accept and others I reject, but I'd like to hear your filtering process.
So that's an excellent question. And when I was starting to build my LinkedIn network, I accepted everyone for two reasons. One, because the more connections you have, the more people LinkedIn allows you to connect with. So it actually, there's a momentum to your connections, number one. Number two, I don't have personal information about myself, my family, my home life up on my LinkedIn profile. So anything that's up there is public information and public knowledge. So I don't really care who's looking at it. So that's why I felt comfortable accepting everyone. I did notice that as I really tailored and honed my profile, my connection requests got more and more specific. Most of the people who want to connect with me now are business consultants, students, or people who are also in higher education.
Great. So the other question has to do, here we go. I will be changing my focus or industry. All of my suggested connections are related to my past career.
Mm-hmm.
Any quick suggestions to building the new connections? That's from Sharon Hurley.
Well, as soon as you change the information on your profile, people are going to see that you've changed industries and careers. It will ask you if you want if you want a notification of your changes to be sent out to your network. If I were you, I would probably put yes, since it sounds like that's a big change. That's something you want to share with your network. You don't want to delete or get rid of any of your current connections because you don't know who they are connected to. You don't know who might find you because of that network that you've built. And even though there may not seem like a direct link between your new industry that you're choosing to go into and your past experience, there may be. So I wouldn't do anything except change your profile to reflect the applicable work that you've done in the past and the new work that you're going to be doing, and then start doing some of your own connecting and your own networking within your new industry.
I think that's a really great response. I mean, so many of us do pivot in our careers, but we also know that businesses grow through relationships. So,
absolutely.
Point well taken. You know, people who know and trust you in one industry, they're going to know your character for the next. Angela, it's 1 o'clock. I wanted to ask the one question for so many of us who are founders of our own corporations and businesses. Yes. You know, we're talking today about our personal professional profile. How important is it to have a business profile linked to our personal as the founder of the business that people own?
So, and I'm so sorry, Joy, you were breaking up a little bit. I think I'm having a little bit of an an internet connection issue. However, I think I caught the gist of your question, and that is, should you have a business profile on LinkedIn as well? And I would say, sure, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to make that much of a difference, except, again, be kind of a small landing page for your corporate business profile or your small business profile. The large corporations have business profiles on LinkedIn so that their employees can connect to it. So if you have employees and you want your employees to be able to connect to it, absolutely. If you don't have employees, it's not quite as vital. A business profile on LinkedIn for someone like you, Joy, looks aesthetically almost exactly the same as it does, for example, Hyatt Hotels Corporation. So it's just they have 100,000 employees connected to it, and you may have just you, and that's okay.
Okay, great, great, great. We got another thank you so much from Boots in Reading. She's so happy she attended and realizes she can use LinkedIn, so that's exciting.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, well, let's thank Angela again with applause, and if we were live, we'd be standing up. But instead, you heard all the chats. And I want to just appreciate all of you. Another thank you very much from Pamela. Good to have you, Pamela. Want to invite all of you to take a look at E-JEDI. We've got trainings ongoing, and the way to go to our website is e-jedi.org. We also have our Facebook events page, but click on schedule and you'll see what's new and coming. Every month, we offer our We Thrive Together events in Reading, women entrepreneurs coming together for an hour and a half to network, to connect, and to learn. And our next speaker in May is going to be a lot of fun. It's Trish Funk. And then we have our monthly webinars. You're on one now. And the next webinar is with Kim Hermanson, Dr. Kim. And it's on creativity at work and why creative thinking matters. Have to tap into it. So this is going to be a think outside of the box kind of webinar so that we utilize more of our mind when we grow our business. We thank you again, Angela. Is there any kind of closing comments you'd like to make?
I don't think so. I just want to tell all of you that I've had a fabulous time. So thanks for sticking with me. And again, if you have any additional follow-up questions, please, by all means, shoot me an email, reach out to me. I would love that. And if this is something that any of you want to do kind of a workshop on, if you want to meet in person around some computers and I can be there to kind of give you some advice or anything like that, just let me know. And maybe that's something that Joy and I can work on together.
I like that idea. Okay, well, I'm going to launch our final poll, and this is a poll for us at the Women's Business Center at JEDI as I'm developing our monthly webinar series. I'd love to know what you want to know. What are areas of your business that would help you grow and expand? So this will be our last poll. So I get to see the results. Okay. All right, I'm going to close that poll in a moment. And do know, I look at these. So I usually schedule about 3 months out and then respond to the polls that I give at every webinar so that we make sure that we're really supporting people in the webinars and the courses that are going to serve you. So thank you very much. I'll share the results just for fun. Number 1 was the technology mindset. Okay, coming soon to a WBC. All right, well, I appreciate that very much. Thank you, everyone. Angela, this was fun. I had a good time too.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Thanks so much. Everyone have a beautiful rest of your week.
All right, take care. We'll see you on LinkedIn.
All right.